Okay, let's do the completing the square worksheet. X squared minus 6x plus 2 equals 0. So we can solve it. You can do it with the quadratic formula, but I said do it with completing the square for practice. So you write x squared, and since it's 1, we're okay, minus 6x plus half of 6, x minus 3 and x minus 3 in the square, and so we have to add 9 and subtract 9, and we have a plus 2. These three make x minus 3 squared. Minus 9 plus 2 is minus 7 equals 0. To solve for x, we add 7. Take the square root of both sides, and we get x minus 3 equals, when you take the square root, it's plus or minus. And then add 3 to both sides. That's 1. If there's a 3 and it's equal to 0, you can divide everything by 3, make some fractions which may not be pretty, but if I divide by 3, I get x squared plus 5 thirds x minus 10 thirds equals 0. We do half of this, x minus, and if I take 5 thirds times 1/2 to get half of it, I get 5/6. So on my square, the important part is 5/6 times 5/6, minus times minus is plus, 5 times 5 is 25, 6 times 6 is 36. Some of you do this in decimal, but that's okay. So x squared plus 5 thirds x plus 25 36 minus 25 36 minus 10 thirds. These three factor to x minus 5/6, half of that, squared, this times this makes this. And to make 36, I'd have to multiply by 12. So I got minus 25 minus 120, which is minus 145 over 36. Add this to the other side. Take the square root, plus or minus 145 over 36. Add 5/6 to both sides. Square root of 145 over the square root of 36, which is 6. So I can do it that way. Third one, we now have y equals. So if there was a number in front, we can't just divide everything by it. We have to factor it out of these, but we don't. We have a 1, so we're in pretty good shape here. So we're going to go y equals x squared plus 10x plus something minus 6. Half of 10 is 5, 25 then, because it'd be x plus 5 and x plus 5, and we'd be doing x squared plus 5x plus 5x is the 10x, and 5 times 5 is 25. Add 25, subtract 25. These three, according to this, are x plus 5 squared. These two make minus 31. So the vertex, this graph has been moved back 5 in the x and down 31 in the y. That's the vertex. and the line of symmetry, or center line, is a line, so we have to write an equation, x equal, and it's x equal minus 5. Backs up. Now we do have a number in front, and since it's equal to y, we don't want to divide everything by minus 2. So we go just divide these two by minus 2, so it's minus 2 times x squared. 10 divided by minus 2 is negative 5x plus something minus something, still in the parentheses. We've got to do it in the parentheses, and then we got minus 6 on the outside. Half of 5 is 5 halves, or 2.5. And so it's going to be x minus 5 halves and x minus 5 halves. So what I'm going to be adding is 25 fourths, or 6.25, and subtracting it. These three come from here and are x minus 5 halves squared times a minus 2. This is also times a minus 2. So that becomes plus 50 over 4, or plus 25 over 2 minus 6. 25 over 2 is 12.5 minus 6 is 6.5. So we get minus 2 x minus 5 halves squared plus 6.5 for y, which tells me the vertex is at plus 5 halves plus 6.5. And the center line equation, or axis of symmetry, is going to be x equal 5 over 2. Going to complete the square on a circle. So we've got nothing in front of the x's, so we're going to go x squared minus 6x, y squared plus 8y. We're going to do half of 6, which is x minus 3, and so we're going to do 9 plus 9 minus 9. And for the 8, we're going to do plus half of 8 is 4, squared is 16, minus 16. These three are x minus 3 squared. These three are y plus 4 squared. We've got minus 9 and minus 16, which is minus 25 on this side. So I add 25 to both sides. So my center is at 3, negative 4. And this is my radius squared. So radius is the square root of 25, or 5. This one, I meant to have a 3 on both of these. Now, it's probably a little easier to do it, but it wouldn't be a circle, it would be an ellipse. So, we have a 3, a 6, an 8, a 2, and a 0. So we can, since it's 0, we can divide everything by 3, and we get x squared minus 2x plus something minus something plus y squared plus 8/3 y plus something minus something plus 2 equals 0. So half of 2 is negative 1, squared is 1. Half of 8/3 is 4/3, squared is 16/9. These three make x minus 1 squared. These three make y plus 4/3 squared, and then we have minus 1 minus 16/9 plus 2 equals 0. So we know the center is 1, negative 4/3. The radius, we got to get these all collected over here, and so the minus 1 and the plus 2 make plus 1, and 1 is 9/9. So we got a minus 16/9 plus 9/9, which is 7/9, negative 7, yes, negative 7/9. So on the other side it's plus 7/9. And so the radius squared is this, so the radius is the square root of 7/9. So it's the square root of 7, and the square root of 9 is 3, so we can write it that way too.